All right, day 3, 100 days of Handyman. We are already behind schedule. Turns out, the closer you get to the end of the year, school year that is, the less your kids want to go to school. Today we have a normal day. It'll probably end around 5, 6, depending on how long it takes to go back, finish that cabinet. But we have a cooktop consultation, and we have 2 dishwashers, and then obviously go back, finish the wall oven, and get paid for that one. So today would be a normal day, and we should gross just over $1,000 gross, not take home. If you're going to start a business, that should be something that you should know before you start it. There is a huge difference between gross pay and take home pay. Huge difference. If I just took home every dollar I made, then I would be out of business really quick. I pay myself a salary. When we have a bad week, hopefully I have enough money saved up from the good weeks to still pay myself the same amount, have a little balance. And then tomorrow we got the big meeting about contracting with someone to handle things that are just not my interest, things that I should have already taken care of, but some of them I didn't even know existed. So SEO, I thought that I did that. Turns out I didn't. When you Google Handyman, if you are in my immediate area, my name pops up at the top of Google. So I thought that I did my SEO fairly well. Well, turns out if you're just a couple towns over and you Google Handyman, even though you're in my service area, I don't show up on the list at all. Billy Joe Handyman is nowhere to be found. And I've been getting calls twice a day, every day, for months about this SEO stuff. And every time I look at it, because I'm where I'm in my city, I see my name at the top. So to me, it just sounds like a scam. No one ever thought to try to explain it to me. I've tried to listen to people too. So I've even given some a benefit of a doubt. And even though I don't believe them, listen to their spiel, let them go through it, and then tell them, hey, I just Googled my name. I'm at the very top. And then usually they'll say, well, that's because you Googled your name. Like, okay, just Googled just Handyman. And I'm at the very top.
No, sir, you're not on it at all.
Well, I'm ignorant on the subject. So I never even thought that just moving a couple miles would change your Google search. I would think that you'd have to move a lot more than that. And they were clearly ignorant on sales because they lacked that perspective. They lacked the knowledge that I could potentially have that perspective. They lacked the knowledge that I was ignorant on the subject. I've also had a couple that wouldn't even call me by my name after being corrected several times. Those are the best. Those are the best. Because I let them go through their spiel, and then I usually end it with saying, look, I'm looking for someone, but you can't even say my name. And then they'll say, oh, yeah. Yes, we can. You're blah, 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 and say something just off. If you're trying to sell me something and I tell you my name's Billy Joe and you call me Tim, probably not going to buy it from you. If you're trying to sell me something and I tell you my name is Billy Joe, You call me Billy, and I say, no, Billy Joe, and you call me Billy again, then I'm not going to buy from you. And I know a lot of people will say, well, that's just them shortening your name. One, it's not very professional. I gave you my name. Please call me by my name. And two, I've already had to deal with that working for someone. I worked for a guy who would correct me on my own name because he didn't like my name. So I may be a little more touchy on the subject than other people, but either way, it's rude. If you can't even say someone's name how they want it said, then you're probably not making that sale. If you're not trying hard enough to at least call them what they want to be called, then you're probably not making that sale. If you can't try hard enough to say my name, then how can I expect you to try hard enough to do what you're saying you're going to do? That's just my rant. Now, when I get this wall oven done, I will be making another tutorial video on wall ovens for this particular model because it uses a bigger strain relief, and to be honest, every house is different. So the more tutorials I can get out there, the more likely it'll help someone who actually needs the help. That's why I'm doing it. I've had people tell me it's silly to post tutorials on how to do my job online for people to do it themselves rather than hire me. But if you're going to do it yourself, you're going to do it yourself most of the time. I have enough customers to where I can stay busy pretty much every day. I don't want to fight for the customer that doesn't even want me. I want the customers that got the money, enough money to where they don't want to learn how to put in a wall oven. And that's what you should be striving for. Because if you start a business, you're not starting it to do favors, do charity work. You're starting it to make money. And newsflash, you need money to survive. We live in a society where, in my honest opinion, it's just slavery with extra steps. And in order to buy your freedom, you're going to have to play the game. You're going to have to play the game however you know how, and how I know how is to do home service work. And if you're smart about it, you'll take what you know and you'll find a way to make it as profitable as possible and buy your freedom from the game. Win at the game. So that's what's going on today. 2 dishwashers, finish the wall oven, consultation on a cooktop. Hopefully we won't have to cut the countertop, but if we do, we can. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. All right, here we are again, 100 Days of Handyman. And this is going to sum up day 3 and day 4. Had a little bit of a stressful event at the end of day 3, so I wasn't in the right headspace to record the ending. So day 3, we had the wall oven, I believe. Now I'm losing it. No, day 3, we finished the wall oven. Day 3, we finished the wall oven where we had to add to the cabinet, and I'm going to make a full video on that. If you check out the shorts, you can see the finished product. I made a short on it, but we finished that, came out looking nice. And then day 4, I'm getting my days mixed up. Last night it was stressful, guys, just really stressful. Day 4, we did a dishwasher, went back to check on a dishwasher the customer said was not closing properly. Turns out that it had somehow come off the shim because she had such a tall space for it to go into, and we had to shim it up, and it had come off the shim, so it was crooked and the door wasn't shutting properly. And we had a very important meeting this morning and a junk removal job. Can't forget the junk removal job. Had a junk removal job, which I took my son on. And we had a very important meeting this morning. And we contracted with another company to help us out with marketing. We're no longer going to be working with Thumbtack. I don't see us ever going back to Thumbtack. It's not to say that Thumbtack's bad or anything. It's good for getting started, but it's not good for making high profit margin or really much profit margin at all. So we used it for what it's good for, and now that we've outgrown Thumbtack, we're moving on to something else. But we're not moving on to what you would expect. We're not going to Angie or Home Advisor or Home Depot. It's something different. And once I've tested the waters and know for sure how well it works, because I've heard a lot of good things, but you just can't trust anyone. That's my number one rule, is trust no one. I've had to, I destroyed a kitchen floor because I trusted someone. So yeah, trust no one. Check everything. So even though I've heard nothing but positive things about this company, I want to see it before I say anything about it. They're going to be helping us with the website, which I am inept at. SEO, meta keywords, stuff that I just don't understand. So, and it's going to cost less than Thumbtack, believe it or not. About $200 a month less than Thumbtack. So, I hope it works. If it doesn't work, then we haven't really lost much, because at this point, Thumbtack jobs have become something where we're spending almost as much money on Thumbtack as we're making off of Thumbtack, because we're too busy to take the cheaper jobs. It's just not worth it at this point. We still got this drywall hole, which we will patch. We will use that to show how to make a California patch. That will be a separate video of its own. Or who knows? Maybe it'll be 100 Days of Handyman video. But day 3, the work didn't kill me. After work definitely killed me. And day 4, I am starting to get back in a good mindset. It'll probably take me a little bit, but I'm committed to this, so I need to do it. Even if I'm feeling down, you don't stop exercising just because you're sad that the weight's not coming off immediately. And you just gotta follow the process and hope for the best. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm making these videos, is I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that someone out there gets the courage to do something that they thought they were too scared to do. And I hope that it's successful. I hope that my videos reach someone who is having an issue at home and can't afford to pay someone to fix it, but it needs to be fixed. And I'm able to help them do that. What is the purpose in life? What is the purpose of life? That's a question that I often ask myself when I'm feeling down. And I strongly believe that for men, the purpose of life is to have purpose, to feel useful. So I just want to be useful. I don't do this. I'm not doing this in the hopes to make a ton of money, because I know that this will never make a ton of money. I've seen handyman channels. They usually don't get very big, or they start preaching about their course, or one in particular has a new book for you to buy every month. And I don't want to do that. I just want to get the information out there, hopefully help someone so that I have purpose. So, a little philosophical at the end of day 4, but it is what it is. And never doubt yourself. I'll keep on trucking, you keep on trucking, and we'll get through this together.